A demon from the other world takes family away, members one by one. Don't miss out. The psychics will find who summoned the evil entity. But can they stop death? Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a channel of true and impressive stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate tangled criminal cases and shocking mystical anomalies. This woman's family is asking the psychics for help. Being 35, Ina Kochube says that her life is over.
I died with my child.
Ina's son, Anatoly, died under mysterious circumstances. It happened on the railway tracks in the town where the family lives.
A train hit my son. He was 17. I only lived for him.
Ina's older sister, Zhanna, says there's no formal crossing at the place where it happened. Yet the locals usually cross the tracks there. For many years, Anatoly also walked this path. That evening, he was returning home as usual.
Ina called him and he said, "Yes, Mom, I'll be home soon."
It was their last conversation, after which the boy stopped answering the calls.
Later, a policeman answered the phone and said Anatoly was dead.
The teenager, who regularly crossed the railway tracks to and from home, knew the train schedule well. Furthermore, when he saw him on the tracks, the train driver sounded the horn loud for a long time. Did Anatoly really see or hear nothing?
The police said it was an accident.
The train driver told the police that the young man seemed frozen on the track.
The driver said he was just standing there, as if something were holding him in place.
There are no witnesses to the tragedy, but everyone around heard the endless, piercing train horn.
He was pulled here from over there. It's about 20-30 meters.
No alcohol or drugs were found in Anatoly's blood. The investigators concluded it wasn't suicide, and the family insists he had no reason to do it. Anatoly graduated from school successfully and aspired to develop himself.
He was very talented, and he wanted to be a sound engineer.
I miss my child. I'd give anything to hear his voice.
But the most terrifying part is that this is the third death in the family within a short period. First, Ina's beloved husband passed away. The man died at 37 from a sudden heart attack.
The only thing I could say was, it's impossible.
The woman stayed alone, strangely, but on the same day, 3 months later, her sister's husband died, too. He was also 37, and his heart suddenly stopped as well.
I feel desolated and miss him terribly.
The women are convinced the evil entity, looking like a werewolf, is killing the men in their family. Each sister sees it at her home.
It's like an animal covered in fur, yet it resembles a human.
Some kind of werewolf.
The horrifying otherworldly creature appears before each death in the family occurs, as if it's mocking the sisters.
It choked me and laughed.
I start praying, but I can't utter the prayer, and I only hear the eerie laughter.
The mother didn't believe her daughters for a long time, until she witnessed this ominous entity with her own eyes at her home.
It's like some kind of beast. It strangled me, and I couldn't get up or scream.
The women had their homes consecrated, bought protective talismans, hung horseshoes, and even consulted village seers to banish the evil entity, but all in vain.
Our family is dying out, like someone is finishing us off.
Now, the women worry about the remaining men in the family, their father, brother, and especially the youngest family member, Zhanna's son.
Losing your child is the worst thing imaginable.
Recently, 12-year-old Sasha narrowly escaped death. Someone invisible pushed him when he was at home, and he fell and hit his temple on the corner of a table.
He had a huge bruise on his head. It was awful.
The doctors said Sasha was lucky. If the impact had been a centimeter lower, he wouldn't be alive.
Please come and help us.
Azerbaijani psychic Khayal Aleksperov and Ukrainian clairvoyant Zhanna Shulakova agreed to help. On the eve of the investigation, Khayal arrived in Ukraine. On his way from the airport, he decided to call his colleague to discuss what he sensed. My djinns showed me a strange clock without hands and with strange symbols instead of numbers. Suddenly, the clock burst into flames. My djinns also showed me a woman's hand with a glinting needle, and they said, "Beware of the third yes."
Needles are often used in dark rituals, but what kind of werewolf is haunting the family? Let's find out. Reveal yourself.
Zhanna, it's behind you.
The next moment, it flung by me and seemed to enter the tablet screen like a portal.
We still don't know how to explain it, but the driver who was transporting the psychic and his translator suddenly fainted.
Are you all right?
Our driver fainted right after you summoned the entity. I barely kept control of the vehicle.
The werewolf didn't want us to interfere.
The next morning, the psychics are ready to proceed with their investigation.
Yesterday, I saw the spirit of a man in the mirror, the same man whose death I predicted many years ago when I was in Zakarpattia region. He was a young man. When I looked at him, I saw him lying, covered in blood at the feet of a woman. I remember warning him back then, "Be careful, you might die young."
Why did he come to see you now?
He said, "Tell her the whole truth. She's suffering greatly." It's weird that his spirit appeared while I was working with the photo of the family. They're somehow connected.
Hello?
I'm so grateful you've come.
Indeed, the werewolf-looking evil entity is involved in all the deaths in your family. But I never suspected that its appearance was linked to a horrifying murder. What's that strange sound?
Wait,
Someone's knocking.
like a bird pecking at a window pane. He's crying and
Zhanna, do you see a spirit?
yes,
Who's that?
he's tall, dark-haired and thin.
That's my husband.
He says he knocked on your window before.
Yes, yes.
It turns out that after Ole's death, Zhanna and her son indeed heard strange knocking on the window at night.
My son and I woke up because someone was knocking on the window.
He says, "My kitty."
That's what he used to call me.
He's standing next to you, his hands are on your shoulders.
I felt him hugging me. I'll never forget you.
Your late husband wants to protect his son from this evil force.
He's telling me to look for a house with 2 dogs.
That's probably my mother's house.
The entity appeared there. Can we go there?
Yes.
My name is Larissa. This is my husband.
The spirit of Zhanna's husband brought us here.
He was like a son to us.
Come in.
Did you just hear the laughter? It was inhuman, eerie laughter.
Yes, someone laughed.
Apart from Zhanna and me, only those whom the entity was hunting heard its laughter, and the laughter sent chills down my spine.
I'm trembling.
The entity feeds on grief and despair. Let's go inside quickly. I see the spirit of a young man. It's your grandson, who died under the train. Where is his mother?
She's here, but she's very unwell. She doesn't wish to live.
Your grandson's spirit says, "Tell Mom not to cry. She must continue living. I love her very much, and I love all of you."
Anatoly, my dear.
We love you very much, our dear boy.
He says, "This animosity makes you weak. Enough of it. I don't really understand what's going on." Anatoly, who did you see before your death?
What kind of entity is that?
Where did it come from?
Anatoly is showing me a needle.
Did you find any hidden needles here?
My husband did.
One needles, and then another tucked in like that.
It's possible the entity was bound to them.
Do you suspect anyone of this?
Yes, her name is Kalaria.
Kalaria is Larissa's best friend. During the celebration of her husband's birthday, while everyone was at the table, she, for some reason, went to this room, and then they found the needles hidden in the wallpaper.
Since then, all these misfortunes began.
The women haven't spoken for 10 years since the incident with the needles.
Your friend is connected to magic. I see books next to her.
She had some nasty spells in them.
She has a special room there with candles.
She practices witchcraft. That's why we suspect her.
Let's go to see her. As soon as everyone stepped into the yard, it started snowing, and Zhanna Shulakova inexplicably froze in place.
I see that young man again.
The one from Zakarpattia?
Yes. He's not related to you.
Not related and...
He said, "You'll learn the truth about my death from her." He's pointing at Larissa.
Who is he?
Zhanna, let's first deal with that woman.
Hello. We are here to help this family. You know them, don't you?
Of course I do.
You visited this family's house, and then they found some needles there.
I definitely didn't do it.
I came into the room, and you were sitting there alone, weren't you?
Honestly, I don't remember that. I never did any magic at all.
But I sense you did magic.
I recited prayers to ward off the evil eye.
Not just prayers, but also spells. But, Larissa, it wasn't your friend who summoned the entity.
Thank you, Khayal. I carried this burden for 10 years. I can only offer my condolences for your grief. I never wished any harm to you.
Now nothing spoils your friendship again.
We miss each other. Larissa, thank you so much.
But who left those needles then? Khayal Aleksperov asked for a few minutes to work with his sacred book. A woman who used to be your neighbor brought the needles to the house. But the charm didn't work.
It has no connection to the terrible deaths in the family.
And then my djinn showed me the strange clock without hands again.
He had a dream about a clock.
It had little coffins instead of the hands.
I feel it's connected to your house. We need to go back there.
There he is. Stop.
What happened, Zhanna? Is that the dead boy from Zakarpattia?
He's lying on the ground, covered in blood. He was killed, Khayal.
He was killed right on this spot. But what does the spirit want from the psychics? And what does all this have to do with the family?
Her son killed him. This blood is on your family's hands.
Sasha did it.
The tragedy happened right here. But how come Larissa's son killed someone? It happened because of a girl.
He wanted to protect her.
That evening, Alexander and his friends saw two men trying to rob a young girl.
We saw the girl crying. One started running away and the other was rummaging through her purse. We didn't intend to kill them. The things just got too heated.
You stood up for the woman and a fight started, right?
The fight started and ended right here.
That's why in my vision, I saw the dead young man next to a woman.
Was one of the victims from Zakarpattia?
Yes, he was somewhere from the west.
I heard him promise his mother to a lot of money before leaving home. His friend called him with him, saying he needed to collect a debt, but it was actually a planned robbery. When the friend attacked the girl, the young man from Zakarpattia was shocked.
He ran away because he got scared.
He wasn't a robber.
He keeps coming because the mother considers him a criminal.
He wanted us to tell the truth. But I sense that you believe the deaths in your family might be connected to this murder.
Yes. We thought Sasha's sin affected our entire family.
This idea occurred to the family members after Larissa's grandson tragically died on the railway track. It happened on the date when, 13 years ago, his uncle committed the murder.
The fact that Tolya died on November 4th and that Sasha killed those men on November 4th, could it really be a coincidence?
No, it's not a coincidence.
For my sins. My mother blames me too.
The family members turned into enemies.
My mother thinks I'm her enemy because I support Sasha.
The entity preying on men in your family appeared shortly after the murder. There is a connection between these two events.
The young man's spirit told me, return to their house.
The murdered man's spirit is showing me an image from the past. I see this room. There's a table and candles burning. And on the table, there's a round board with letters.
People summoning spirits.
Inna summoned a spirit. She drew a circle and wrote letters and moved a needle.
Why did you summon the spirit?
To ask when Sasha would be released.
The woman says she and her sister loved their brother and were deeply concerned when he was arrested. To find out if Alexander really killed someone and what would happen to him, they took a desperate step and decided to summon a supernatural force.
The board is often used during spirit summoning sessions. When the spirit responds, it moves the needle on a thread, pointing at the letters to spell out words.
He answered us letter by letter.
That's why you saw the clock of death in your dream.
We drew the board like a clock face.
We wanted to talk to my mother.
But that wasn't your mother's spirit at all. What did it say when it came?
I will take your soul.
Who did the sisters summon from the other world that he threatened to take their souls?
Oh, Lord.
To even understand this, we need a seance. We need a table, paper, and a marker. Was it like this?
Yes.
We need to open the window. It will be our portal.
Who are you? Come to us.
It moved on its own. The needle. It was responding.
Are you here? Yes. Do you want to talk? Yes. Are you an entity? No. Are you a demon?
Dear God. The window slammed shut.
It's horrendous. The candle toppled. There can be a fire.
The women summoned a demon.
Help us, please.
We must send the demon back to the other world.
Using fire and the needle, I was supposed to summon the demon. And the family members were to offer him a ransom.
He's here. I see his horns.
I see the horns too.
Give him the ransom, quick.
Throw it.
The demon refused from the ransom. He tried to attack with fire.
Oh, dear God.
Khayal, you're bleeding.
Blood is what the demon wants. The demon accepted my blood. I see the spirit of your grandson, Larissa. He says, I can't bear to watch you argue. The murder committed by my uncle separated you and made you enemies.
The women can't hold back tears because it's true.
We're really enemies. It hurts so much.
It's painful to see. Our family is falling apart.
Family means protection, and only together you can resist any evil force.
I'm so grateful to you.
Thank you.
This is simply horrifying. A random crime destroyed a once happy family, but we hope that thanks to the psychics, these people can become close to one another again. If this story impressed you, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more incredible investigations are coming up. A contract with death and a child who became the ransom. Don't miss this shocking investigation. The clairvoyants will reveal bloody family secrets. This is Psychic Investigations, a channel of exclusively true and shocking stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate resonant criminal cases and mysterious paranormal phenomena. A tiny village. When psychics Rubina Tsibulska and Yaroslava Fedorova were returning home from another investigation, their bus suddenly had a flat tire. The van swerved onto the opposite lane, but luckily, the driver managed to steer and stop on the side of the road.
What happened?
Something punctured the tire. It fell off the passing truck.
A spirit of a young man stopped the vehicle. He was dark-haired and had blue eyes. He showed me a strange vision of a road with a woman with long black hair on it. She was from the world of the dead, and opposite her stood a living young woman. The next moment, I noticed a large truck. It was running straight at the girl, but she stood motionless, like she was paralyzed by the gaze of this dark-haired woman from the other world. And then the spirit of the young man spoke. Save the girl's life. She will kill her in 2 days. The girl he's asking us to save is somewhere nearby.
Coincidence or not, but after the accident, our another expert, Khayal Aleksperov, called our office from Azerbaijan.
I had a vision of Yaroslava and Rubina, and behind them, there was a woman from the other world. She wants to kill them.
We noticed that Yaroslava and I had missed many calls from Khayal. I immediately told him about my visions and the girl we have to save.
Khayal Aleksperov can't arrive in Ukraine right now, but he promised to assist remotely. Meanwhile, our driver has replaced the flat tire, but the car won't start for some reason. Our administrator calls a tow truck. The psychics and a part of the crew have to walk to the nearest hotel.
I asked my djinns who this girl is and why the evil force seeks her death. They showed me an image. A bloodied woman's body on the floor, and above her, a man with blood on his hands. It looked like a murder.
The following afternoon, the driver is at the local repair shop. It turns out that the onboard computer of our van burned, and it will take a while to fix it. Upon learning that the famous psychics are stranded in the village, the locals begin to gather in front of the hotel.
We decided to talk to the people, hoping that they would help interpret my visions. Suddenly, Yaroslava also saw the woman from the other world among the crowd.
The black hair, it's long, and a long cloak. She's next to you.
I really felt unwell at that moment.
When I looked closely at the ladies, I recognized one of them. It was the girl from my vision.
What's your name?
My name's Vera.
I'm her sister, Nadia.
Let's go aside. A woman from the other world is chasing you. She's right here with you. Do you feel her?
It feels like my back is burning.
She's dark-haired.
And her hair is long.
Bright blue eyes.
I was shocked. They literally described the woman I saw in my dreams.
Recently, this entity hasn't been haunting you in dreams alone.
Lately, I've started seeing shadows. I have panic attacks.
She's draining your energy, and you feel weaker.
Yes, I've been losing weight rapidly.
This month only, Vera has lost over 10 kilograms due to constant anxiety and fear. She's extremely nervous and has almost stopped eating.
I fear for my life. I want to live a normal life. I want you to help me. I'm afraid for my child.
Vera is 26, and her daughter is 6. The girl's father abandoned Vera while she was pregnant.
She has no one except me.
Vera has sought medical help. The doctors diagnosed her with nervous exhaustion, prescribed her antidepressants, and recommended abstaining from stress.
The woman who is haunting you can paralyze you with a single glance.
Indeed, it happened. I was lying awake. I saw my child running, but I struggled to breathe. It felt like something was weighing down my chest, and I was unable to move or scream.
Every day, every evening, I come to see her because I'm afraid something might happen, God forbid.
Nadia, did you feel anything strange when you stayed overnight with your sister?
I tried to wake up, to open my eyes, but I couldn't. I was terrified.
When the dark-haired woman appeared, everything around seemed to freeze. Vera, you couldn't take your eyes off her, even when a truck almost ran over you. I saw this in my vision.
Yes, the truck almost killed me. It was terrifying.
Vera was crossing the street at a pedestrian crossing when suddenly she froze in the middle of the road and couldn't move.
My body got paralyzed. I couldn't move.
Vera saw the red light turn on and noticed a huge truck speeding directly toward her. Suddenly, she had a feeling as if someone pulled her back.
It felt like something pulled me from behind. The truck passed this close to me.
It seems someone is constantly saving you from her.
But who is this woman, and why does she seek Vera's death?
She keeps coming because of a promise. Someone promised her something. May I have your hand? I sense that your destiny was supposed to be different. You're living someone else's life, and you have little time left.
Help me, please.
Meanwhile, in Azerbaijan, Khayal Aleksperov is working with Vera's photo. I asked my djinns why the entity was pursuing Vera, and they told me a strange phrase: the death of the mother. It might somehow be connected to Vera's mother.
It's strange, but your mother is alive.
Yes, yes.
We need to work with your parents.
All right.
Vera, could we see them tomorrow?
Vera hesitated before she agreed to take us to see her parents. No one knew yet what horrors and gruesome secrets that family was hiding.
The clairvoyants and the crew returned to their hotel rooms. And the next morning, they set off to talk to Vera's parents.
Look, the cards are telling us to look for a man with wings. He will help stop death.
My mirror is showing me a little girl. She stands in a room, crying bitterly and whispering something. Suddenly, the space around her seems to change, and the same woman's spirit appears before her. I see the stranger lean down and kiss the girl.
What does it have to do with Vera?
I don't know yet. Hello?
Welcome. I'm her mom.
Where's your husband?
He won't come out.
Get daughter and go away. I don't want to see you.
I couldn't understand why the man was so aggressive. but suddenly, I saw an image of Vera's father hit her. Vera, did your father ever raise his hand against you?
The first time, he hit me twice here. At home, when my mother was away, he slapped me. I fell and got up, but he hit me again. And then I ran out of the house.
I hear him say, "May the devils take you."
Yes, my father cursed me.
And he does it all the time.
Is it possible that the woman from the other world who hunts Vera is somehow bound to her due to her father's curse?
Your father curses you because of your mother. I see him grab your mother, knock her to the floor, and start beating her.
He beat her all the time.
He beat her violently.
I sensed insane jealousy. The man believed that his wife could leave him for someone else at any moment.
He raised his hand against you even when you were pregnant.
Yes, he beat me while I was pregnant.
It was a miracle that Olha didn't lose her baby and gave birth to Vera.
She was all bruised when she birthed me. The doctors said it was impossible that she survived.
Vera, I see that as you grew up, you repeatedly saved your mother from death.
He took a knife, and I stood in front of her like this.
Vera spent her entire childhood in fear. Every day, she feared she would be too late to save her mother, and her father would kill her.
Even now, I have nightmares of my father beating my mother and trying to kill me.
Your father's hatred toward you, Vera, seems to have begun after you exposed everything. You decided to punish him.
Yes. It was when I was around 16, after I entered the college.
After another round of beating, Vera's mother ended up in the hospital again.
When I arrived, I told her, "Tell the police, otherwise he'll kill you sooner or later," and I finally convinced her.
The man was taken to the police station, and a trial took place a month later. Vera testified as the main witness to her father's abuse.
I sensed that the man tried to appear as a model family man.
He said, "I've never done such a thing in my life. How can you say such things about your father?"
However, the father didn't know that for several years, his daughter had been recording all his threats to kill her and her mother.
My father would call me while I was at the college, threatening me and saying he'd bleed me to death. He wouldn't stop calling and threatening, and so my friend said, "Let's record him threatening you."
The recordings became the main evidence against Vera's father in court. The prosecutor demanded a 6-year prison sentence for him.
But then I sensed that when the man was one step from the prison, someone saved him.
And Vera's mother, the woman he had tormented all his life, did it.
He persuaded Mom, and she withdrew her appeal, and so he only received a 3-year suspended sentence, and a month later, he was granted amnesty.
The man returned home and continued to torment his wife. Since then, he forbade his daughter from visiting their home.
Whatever Vera's mother said, she was content living with her abuser, so she didn't leave him. But her daughter was the one who suffered.
All I ever wanted was a normal family. Before going to bed, I always dreamed of a good family where no one would be beaten, where everything would be fine. I wanted us to go out, have fun, and enjoy ourselves. I had nothing. I can't say I had a happy childhood. I never went anywhere with my parents, like other kids, to the circus, the park, the movies. We never went anywhere, but I wanted to, and I asked you. When was the first time in all those years that you told me you loved me? When did you say that? I didn't feel love and protection.
Olha, why did you withdraw the appeal?
I had nowhere to go. It all belongs to him.
But if you had had him put behind the bars, he wouldn't have beaten you anymore, and you could have stayed here and communicated with your daughter, and you know it perfectly well.
This has been my life. What can I do, you see?
I don't understand her at all. It's either fear or perverted love.
Your inaction exposed your daughter to mortal danger every day.
It's a betrayal by both her parents. She didn't expect this from you.
You never listened to me. You always chose the wrong way.
Vera hasn't spoken to her parents for over 5 years. Has her mother hurt her this time? Will she change her attitude toward her daughter and her life in general?
I tuned in again to understand whether the dark-haired killer woman was connected to the curses. And I realized she wasn't.
But then I saw Vera's house again in a black circle and the dark-haired woman next to it. We need to go to your house. When we entered Vera's home, I felt the presence of someone from the world of the dead.
Meanwhile, in Azerbaijan, Khayal Aleksperov describes something utterly weird.
I see an image. The dark-haired woman stands behind Rubina and reaches out toward her.
This is horrendous. Suddenly, the switch on the wall behind Rubina Tsibulska burned.
I don't know how to explain this.
This otherworldly force tried to scare us, but when we entered the house, I didn't sense her. I see a tall, dark-haired young man with blue eyes. It was his spirit that stopped our van and showed me you almost got hit by a truck. You had strong feelings for him.
Mykola.
Mykola was Vera's first love. They dated before she got married.
She always called me and said what a great man she'd met. She said she didn't need anyone else.
Suddenly, I had a vision of Vera lying on the couch, crying bitterly and whispering something. You were told of his death, and it was an awful blow for you.
Yes.
Mykola worked as a construction worker. He tragically died at work.
He approached the trailer. It was raining, and there was a problem with the wiring in the trailer. He grabbed the handle, and he was killed by electricity.
I sensed that Mykola loved Vera incredibly and thought only of her until his last breath.
He was dying in his friend's arms, and they told me he was speaking about me.
And then you started seeing him in your dreams.
Yes, I had a dream in which I entered the room, and he stood there, rocking my baby in the stroller. I approached him and hugged him from behind and said, "I want to be with you." And he replied, "It's too early for you to be with me."
Suddenly, I felt the presence of the spirit in the room. His eyes are very beautiful. He stands behind you, embracing you.
I indeed felt his touch.
Mykola loved Vera so much that he even tried to protect her after his death. It was he who saved her from the truck.
But his spirit couldn't constantly resist the dark-haired woman. She was too powerful. He's looking at you. And he says, the reason lies in her family.
But what does he mean?
It's unbelievable, but at the same time, Khayal Aleksperov in Azerbaijan has a strange vision too.
I see the bloodied woman, and above her is a man with blood on his hands. How are these people connected to Vera? They are her parents.
Your deceased boyfriend is showing me an image. As a little girl, you stand in the middle of the room, and I hear your father's voice. Step away, I want to kill her. Then your father almost beat your mother to death. She was dying in the middle of the room.
I was little.
She was about 10 then.
I heard Mom screaming and ran into the house. There, I saw her lying covered in blood, and he was kicking her. I fell on her, grabbed him by the legs, and started begging him not to kick her.
I had a vision. Vera was shaking her mother, trying to revive her, and the dark-haired woman stood next to them. I heard the little girl say, "Take my life, but let my mother live." You pleaded with your mother, "Just don't die, let me die instead."
Yes.
My God.
You described the situation accurately.
So that was you that my mirror showed me at the hotel. I see a little girl. She stands in a room, crying bitterly and whispering something. Suddenly, the same woman's spirit appears before her. This woman came for your mother, and she isn't an evil entity. She's death herself.
My breath catches and tears choke me.
Bring water, please.
You stopped her.
Your words spoken over your dying mother were filled with intense love and pain. So death agreed to spare your mother's life and take yours instead. Your destiny was supposed to be different. You're living someone else's life. Death gave Vera's life to her mother. That's why Vera was supposed to die at the age when her mother was supposed to die.
But how do psychics save Vera from death? Is it even possible? And are psychics capable of doing it?
The only option is to try to return the timeline of your life, which was given to you after you were born, and the current threat of death needs to be transferred to something living.
We can transfer it to a tree.
Such rituals are always very dangerous. I couldn't even imagine how it would end, but I still decided to take the risk. I need something you often wear, like earrings, a necklace, or something like that.
I have a cross.
I went to the forest, not far from Vera's house, so that no one would accidentally get hurt during the ritual.
And I decided to perform a ritual to put protection on Vera.
I used a spell to remove the mortal danger from Vera's cross and transferred it to the water, but as soon as I started pouring it under the tree, a strong wind arose. Can you feel it? Death is approaching. It's somewhere nearby. Just look at that. Nobody move.
I saw Fire and Rubina lying on the ground. What she's about to do is dangerous. I'll recite the Quran to strengthen her protection.
The wind was growing stronger every minute. It had already destroyed the protective circle of salt the gypsy clairvoyant had made.
Here's your sacrifice. Here's the life you must take. This is what you came for. Take your ransom. Everyone stay in place.
It was pure madness. Above all, we wanted to escape from there. But as soon as Rubina Tsibulska uttered her last words, the wind rapidly subsided, and silence enveloped us.
You got what you wanted. Now you can go. Go. Vera, you're safe now.
I feel a lot better. I'm so glad they came. I'm very grateful to the psychics. I even feel happier.
To save her mother, the daughter was willing to sacrifice her own life. Hopefully, her mother will finally understand it. If this story impressed you, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing stories are coming up.